Hey everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and in this true crime video, we're talking about the 7 facts in the Tammy Daybell autopsy. Okay, a lot going on here that I want to refresh you on, and we don't know the results of the autopsy, and I'll be clear on that. We do know that this is an ongoing case, obviously, and there is some information that we've learned, but prosecutors are not releasing that information. And that leads to fact number 1. We're actually going to get it right into that the authorities would not release the autopsy results because of that active investigation. So people do believe that means that they may have found something. Investigators may have found something that could lead to an arrest and someone could be charged. And more specifically, Chad and Lori Daybell. Now, we're still waiting. It's going to take some time. When we do get that information, I'll certainly update you all about that one way or another. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do that. You can hit the bell notification to all to get those updates. And I am going to be starting the Facebook group as well, working on my business full time and trying to interweave this business as well. But it will come together, so definitely stay tuned for that. And let's talk about fact number 2. Fact number 2, Chad refused to have an autopsy performed. So this was initially when Tammy was found dead. Chad refused this autopsy, and people bought the fact that it was just a peaceful death with Tammy. Now, investigators have since changed their mind about this, and they do deem the death suspicious. We still don't know a lot of the circumstances as to why, but it is considered suspicious considering all these events, right, with what's happened, with this string of suspicious circumstances regarding Chad and Lori. I've got several videos on that, obviously, if you're not familiar with this case, and you could certainly go back and see some of those videos. But let's talk about fact number 3. So with fact number 3, Tammy was considered pretty healthy. A lot of people, they found her death very sudden, very unexpected, right? A lot of people mentioned her in various articles saying that she was full of life, and it just seemed odd that she could just all of a sudden pass away, right? And of course that leads to fact number 4. She's dying so suddenly, and then next thing you know, with fact 4, Chad Daybell ends up marrying. We can't forget this. He marries lorivallow in Hawaii about 2 weeks after Tammy's death, right? So very suspicious. You just can't ignore these facts that we've learned about the investigation. So she dies, and then all of a sudden Chad is getting married, right? So it's just people want answers. We're hoping to get the results of this. I know a lot of people are waiting for these results, and we're hoping for justice for Tammy. And this is going to lead into the next fact, though, fact number 5. Okay, so fact number 5, Alex Cox. Remember, Alex Cox, Lori's brother, ends up dying one day after Tammy Daybell's body was exhumed. Pretty crazy. You just can't ignore these things. And so you got Alex Cox here. A lot of people think he just had such deep guilt and he just couldn't take it anymore. They believe he was involved in so many of these crimes associated with Lori and Chad. Of course, we don't know for sure, right? This is still an investigation, and there's still a lot of questions and a lot to be learned by this. But there is no doubt that Alex seems to be involved in these cases one way or another, but now he's dead. We don't have his story to tell. And what's odd is a lot of people did not believe this was a natural death. It just happened, he did have some health issues, right? But it just happened one day after her body was exhumed. And, again, when you have these, my personal opinion, of course, I'll give that from time to time. You have these natural causes. When you have heart conditions or lung conditions, though, we know, and I've done other videos on this, that it can be mimicked with things such as poison. If a drug is ingested, it can be mimicked with natural causes. And unfortunately, investigators weren't able to determine that. We just don't know. And so we have to go off the fact that it was a natural death. It's just so odd with the timing. And let me know your thoughts on that still. That is just something I think about quite a bit in this case. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Alex Cox and his death. Okay. And fact number 6, all right, we know that there was no initial autopsy done with Tammy Daybell. So this is really important. This is really big because investigators believe this was just such a natural, peaceful death at the time, right? No suspicion. No coroner ended up coming out on scene. There were no things done such as, taking the body temperature, no rigidity assessment, no urine samples. They didn't take any blood samples, no DNA samples. They just, so there's no toxicology report. We don't have a lot of information that could have been very helpful in this case, since they did determine it was suspicious later on. But we don't have as much information now. And, it worries me that we're not going to get the information that we're hopeful for in this case. But, the fear, the worry with a lot of people is that it's too late. They're not going to find anything that suggests foul play because of how long it's been, the embalming process, when you're replacing fluids, it changes the dynamic of this. So maybe they did find something, though. Again, people think there may have been something found. There's certainly been advancements in forensics, so we're hopeful for that. But that is a big fact in this case, knowing that. Now, we're going to talk about the last fact here, and I've got a couple bits of information to cover on that last fact as well. Okay, number 7, the last fact here. Tammy's daughter, Emma, we learned that she apparently had seen Tammy face down with a pink, frothy mouth, right? So fluids were coming out of her mouth, and it seemed to be a pink, frothy mix there, which, some people would suggest blood being mixed with other fluids, causing that pink color. And but it's really the frothiness of it that really alerts me, and I've seen plenty of suspicious deaths in my time, and I've seen drug overdoses and poisonous deaths, and that's been something that I've seen is the frothy mouth with the fluid. So that right there really sticks out to me, and that's one of the reasons I always thought that it could be potentially poison of some sort, or that Tammy had ingested something that suggested maybe it was foul play. But of course, there's so many other factors, and that's really just my opinion. We can't say that for a fact. Of course, we don't know at this point, but that is definitely something to think about. The pink frothy mouth, and I just pulling up one article here from Medical News Today. Just to kind of cover that, the foaming or frothing at the mouth occurs when excess saliva pools in the mouth or lungs and is mixed with air, creating that foam. So talking about, causes, one of the causes there is a drug overdose. So if I look here at the drug overdose section, and I'll just read this briefly just to give you a better idea. When someone consumes more drugs or toxins than their body can process, they may experience an overdose, okay? So severe overdose could lead to seizures, which could then cause the drooling or saliva to pool in the mouth and be pushed through clenched teeth and lips, okay? So people with severe overdoses may also experience heart attacks or pulmonary edema. Okay, this is where the fluid links into the lungs, both of which are associated with frothing from the mouth. Okay, so again, that heart attack and pulmonary edema, those symptoms there, okay, those can be found with these drug overdoses. So they may realize that, investigation may realize something like that, but they don't know it was caused necessarily by a specific type of drug or poison. It may be too late to find that material in her body, if that were the case. We don't know, again, but it's really interesting, reading just one little section more about that. The carbon dioxide and other gases also build up around the cells and mix with the fluid, and it forms a frothy, light pink, or blood-tinted mucus. Okay, the frothy mucus may spill out of someone's open mouth uncontrollably. So that's one. It could certainly be other things. We believe she was fairly healthy. Seizures could be a cause of that. Rabies, which I would not suspect, but that's another possibility, according to Medical News Today. So there's a couple causes with that when we're talking about, again, foaming or frothing at the mouth. So just wanted to mention that, and let me know your thoughts about these facts, what you think may have happened to Tammy, what you think, what your thoughts are, what you may have learned from other sources, other news articles, anything like that, post those below, comment those below. Let's keep the community active. Again, I'm definitely dealing with some other things right now, but I try to stay active in the comments, and I try to read those all, even if I can't get to them all. But I appreciate you all contributing, and let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is Dev with Crime Hive, and I will see you all in another video next week. Typically doing these on Wednesday. These are coming out on Wednesday right now, just so you all know. I try to do more than one if I can, but these videos are typically coming out at least once a week on Wednesday, so you can count on that, and we'll see you in another video soon. Y'all take care. Thank you.